What a great way to start the show. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Welcome to you too, Jeff.
Yeah, so Tuesday night, exciting
Yeah.
evening, and welcome to Bitcoin Brody and the Crypto Cadets. I'm Jeff Brody.
And I am Bill Sheltima.
Yeah, so welcome and thank you for joining us
Yeah.
on another
Welcome.
edition. Um, Entertainment and education,
Yeah.
not financial advice. Yes,
That's right.
neither, much to the chagrin of, I know my parents, probably yours, were not financial advisors.
Yes, that's right.
You know,
That's right.
so
We
it's
learn day to day by the bruises and bumps and cuts we inflict upon ourselves, actually.
yeah, and
By some of the
hopefully
decisions.
we can share our school of hard knock experiences, should we
Hmm.
have them,
Yeah.
and help others avoid those
Yeah.
mishaps.
Yeah. And I'm hoping people are enjoying how we are presenting investing from a heart centered place and getting something from it and actually being able to utilize some of the things we're talking about and some of the ideas and thoughts that we've had to kind of look at that within themselves. And hopefully people are doing that so that they can become better investors, but also more complete human beings.
Right, right. Yeah, so that's great. Well, we've been seeing the feedback and hearing things, so
Hmm.
people seem to be connecting with the message. So that's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting day. A little bit of a it's an up and down day. We're definitely heavily into altcoin season. More, I would call it right now. This is Ethereum season because
Hmm.
Ethereum is leading the charge.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's uh, it's giving a lot of the technical analysts out there a real run for their skills. As you know,
Mm.
I've looked at the moving averages and I've seen camelbacks, right? So you see the moving average, it's in the green and it starts going down and then it bounces back up, right? So the that line of the flip line acted more as a line of support versus following through on the going into the sell off into the bear
Yeah.
market. So
Hmm.
that's definitely an indication that Ethereum is heavily in a bull market.
Yeah. That's great for anybody that's been holding.
Yeah.
And, we, um, hope you great success with that. And also, my just a personal experience. We're going to talk about Doji, right? Do you want to get into that now,
Yeah,
or
let's
what
get
do you
into
want?
Doge. Let's get
Okay.
into Doge and talk about the Doge father.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't. I've been hearing about it. We talked about the guy that put his 180,000 life savings in and walked away with like 1.5 million or something like that a week or two ago. And I was thinking, yeah, it's probably going to pump again with Elon Musk. He'll say something, and next thing you know, and I wasn't even going to bother with getting into it. I thought I have enough on my plate kind of right now. But then I got thinking, well, what the heck? Maybe I should just get a little bit. So yesterday morning, at around I don't know, 7:45, I bought a small amount of Dogecoin at 38 cents.
Yeah,
And so
good
I'm looking
entry.
at it. What's that?
That's a good entry point.
Yeah, it was. I thought, okay, I'll play with this. Let's have some fun. Because I always try to go into it. What can I learn? What can I learn about myself? And just feel that when I'm in the process of it, be as present with myself as I can. What am I feeling? And how can I apply this to future investing and when to step in and when to step out? And so I thought, okay, let's do it just for fun. It's not going to hurt if I lose anything. I don't think I will. And so I got in at 38 and I'm watching it today and it went up to 60 cents, high 60, close to 61, I think. And I thought, oh, that's really great. Like
Yeah.
that. And it came back down to 53 or 52. I think it's kind of bouncing around there.
Yeah, it's kind of holding around that 53 to 55 cent mark.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good advancement in a day.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And I was checking the news, the Google News, and one of the articles was talking about the influence of Elon Musk coming on Saturday Night Live this Saturday, 11:30 Eastern
yeah,
Standard Time, and how that's affecting what's the Dogecoin, obviously, right? And so it'll be really interesting as we get through this week, because tomorrow is midweek. We still have 4 more days before we get to Saturday. What's going to happen in the meantime? And so I'm thinking, okay, I think what I'll do is I have a little bit, I grab some more fiat and it's sitting in the exchange. And I'm saying to myself, okay, they're talking about it possibly going to $1. So even if it comes down to 50 cents over the next day or two and I get in and I put a little more in, even if I double that, I'm still going to be winning regardless of what I do. If it gets down to that. So I have to decide if I'm willing to wait, and if I miss it, is that fine with me? And it just reminds me of knowing what's your motive in getting into a certain coin and what do you want to get out of it. And if you get out of it where you're happy, but it goes even higher, are you ready for that emotional kick in the pants, I guess you could say? It's like, dang it, I should have stayed in longer.
I think part of it is this, and it comes to it's that plan, right? So I too grabbed a bag of Doge. It's definitely not a long-term hold for me. It's what I call a ladder, right? So I'm going to take a few steps up on my portfolio, and then I'm going to go back to some of the other projects that I think will win long term, right? So if I get 100% out of this in the next few days, that's a huge win. It could go up, if it goes up another 100%, that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be difficult to ignore Doge.
Yeah.
Because it's a celebrity meme coin. It's the one that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
I was looking at the market cap today, right? So it's up in the, it's $70 billion again. And, Binance is $94 billion. So that's position number 3. So Doge is challenging position 3 in market cap, so there's some interesting things about Doge and people talking about accepting it as payment because so many people are holding it. So, oddly enough, Doge could become a popular digital payment form because there's so many people are investing in it. A lot of new people busting into the scene. They're in the scene now because of Elon Musk, because of Doge, right? It's those of us who've been around for a while, it's like, we know the Bitcoins and we know the Ethereums and then all of these other myriad of altcoins.
Yeah.
But Doge is the one that is imprinted on everyone's mind right now.
Yeah. And I was thinking today, and this is just a little bit of a theory I've sort of come up with, and because Elon Musk is so forward thinking and so out of the box with so many concepts and ideas, and I'm thinking to myself, it could just as possibly be that he is using this to show people you can make money and you can create wealth. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to say something that's going to make it go up and people are going to hear about it and they're going to jump in, they're going to make money. It'll go back down. And maybe in a couple of weeks, I'm going to say something again. And then people are going to start noticing that every time, it's because it is a celebrity meme, it's connected to a celebrity. So as long as that celebrity is at that level of celebrity, anything he says is going to affect that coin. And it could be possible that he's just simply teaching us that this is a new way, this is a new era in financial wealth and transaction. And I'm helping you along. I'm helping you see this by actually living through it. And I'm going to help you in it. Yeah. So that's kind of my working theory.
Yeah. And he's lending his clout to that. Like he called Dogecoin the working class cryptocurrency. And, so what he's done is like by his continual pumping of it, just dropping his memes and doing the things that Elon Musk can do.
Yeah.
We can watch the coin surge in price. Now, we look at, people think, oh, well, that's a bad thing. But hey, what do you think happens to the price of Bitcoin? What do you think happens to the price of Ethereum? It's getting surged by by large organizations acquiring and buying and driving the price up,
absolutely.
or you get retail FOMO, right? So when we see the retail FOMO sort of thing going on in Doge, it drives the price up because people are clamoring in to get it. And when you do spot trading and you can set the price, you can sit there and wait for an hour or the whole day for it to fill. Right. But if you're just doing an order, I want to buy $1,000 worth of Dogecoin, or I want to buy $100 worth of coin, and then you place that bid and then it gets filled at the market price.
Yeah.
Well, that just means that if the price has to go up to fill your order, it goes up.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
We've seen it hit 60 cents today, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so we've got another, what's that? We've got another 4 days.
Yeah.
Before the evening of the Doge Father on Saturday Night Live. What's interesting is it's reading a lot of people that the Saturday Night Live people and the followers are upset that Elon Musk is on there, and they're going, there's more suitable people. But I'll say this, that bringing Elon Musk, a celebrity of his own right now, bringing him onto Saturday Night Live is going to pump up the ratings for the Saturday Night Live franchise.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, there's going to be hundreds of millions of eyes on Saturday Night Live that may have never otherwise been on there.
That's so true. Yeah, definitely.
Elon Musk is a bright guy. He's sharp. He's sharp-witted, right? I think that it's going to be interesting to see, how he dances on his feet in the Saturday Night Live role. So,
so speaking of Dogecoin, then what would you say? What is your gut feeling telling you, based on what you're seeing, how high it could go to come Saturday night?
Well, I'm thinking that there's a lot of people out there that want to see the dollar break.
Yeah.
It's not whether I think it will get there or whether I feel that it will get there, but it's just there. That's been the holy grail of Doge, right? When Doge was 6 cents, it's like it's going to $1, and it's like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. That'll make it a top 10 coin. That'll never happen. Oops.
Yeah, exactly.
That market cap's way too high. Oops. First it sets its sights on BNB. So if it goes, so we're sitting at it's like roughly around a $70 billion market cap. So if it hits the 70 cents mark, it could be displacing BNB as a number 3 coin.
Yeah.
This little dog, displacing Binance, and Binance is no chump in the world of cryptocurrency and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting times. It's interesting times, and it goes to show you the power of the people and the people's coins.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to follow your logic or my logic or traditional trading or traditional fundamentals. When people get behind something, it shows you the clout that they have when they vote with their dollars.
Yeah.
I think the message here is caution. There's an air of caution here. So, and it comes to this, emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
I don't know that Doge is going to stay as a top 10 coin for how long.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other projects out there that have really good fundamentals and use cases that are vying for that spot. I guess really what I'm saying is not whether it's a top 10 coin or not, but I'm saying, is it going to stay, in the tens of billions of dollars market cap? Or are we going to see a correction when people get bored of the meme coin? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've made my money, and then there's going to be a mass sell-off. right?
Yeah. And as
You,
human beings, we're fickle that way too, because we do get bored. I mean, fidget spinners were all the rage for quite a while, and you don't hear too much about fidget spinners anymore.
no, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And that the message here is that if it hits $1 and people have put their money in and they've got a goal,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
$1 is the goal, what
Mm-hmm.
then? Do you sell and move and look for the next platform?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and that's sorry, and that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, okay, if I can double or even triple from my entry point, I'll probably pull it all out and then put it into another coin, because I think what I'm trying to do is see if I can take a small bag of coin and keep doubling that and reinvesting it to double, and just pull it out, reinvest it and double, see how far I can go with that. I'm a newbie, of course, and that might just be a really lofty dream, but I think it's good practice for me, anyways, to start with Dogecoin, because to see how fast you can do that within reason. I think I came in at a really good time,
yep.
and if I walk away doubling it, or even two and a half the amount, I think would be fantastic, and then pull it 100% out, find another coin that I feel is going to do something similar, and just keep building that wealth.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's you the key is that you have a plan
Mm-hmm.
and you know what you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
So if you know what that number is, you could set a limit order right now,
Yeah.
right? So let's say you bought in at 38 cents, you could set a limit order at 88 or 90 cents,
Yeah.
right? So there you've doubled your money
Yeah.
and you're walking away.
Mm-hmm.
The key is if you leave enough profits on the table, someone else will walk in to that position.
Mm-hmm.
Selling at the peak, there isn't much profit to leave on the table, and that's what causes that landslide, right?
Mm.
Because what happens is everybody's opening their order, let's say at $1, and nobody's buying.
Yeah.
Everybody's selling.
Yeah.
So what do?
Yeah.
You lower
Exactly.
your price.
Yeah.
And when I lower my price, what does it cause you to do?
Go back in.
You lower your price,
Oh, okay. Right.
right? Because we're on the move down. We've already signaled that yes, someone else will buy back in.
Yeah.
But the key is that we're going to get this. I think we're going to see this cliff, right? And that's the danger. So that it's not going to ease out. It may just drop, very quickly. So if you sold, you might even be able. What a lot of people are doing is they're using Doge as an oscillator. They're riding the wave.
Yeah.
Right. So this buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah.
Right. So they ride the wave up. They take their 100% profit. They wait. It drops off. Then they buy back in, and then they buy the rumor, sell the news, and they do that. They do that along, and they pump a small bag. Start with $100, it becomes $200. $200, it becomes $400.
Yeah.
You do that 10 times, you're dealing with $4,000 or $5,000. You do that 4 or 5 times, you're dealing with significant holdings,
Yeah.
right? And significant holdings is relative, right? A couple $100 could be significant to someone.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's, the whole thing is that altcoins and meme coins, these are risky investments, right? We all hope that the market's going to rise, and we're relying on celebrity presence to drive that. And past experience has shown that it does that. But what if it doesn't?
Yeah. Well, I know.
Go ahead.
I know they're looking at his appearance on Saturday Night Live. If it goes really well, or if it doesn't go well at all, is going to affect it tanking really quickly or going up even higher.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are going to be waiting to see how that goes, and then they're going to make their decision, I think.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's the celebrity right now is pulling the coins up or down.
Yeah. And I think that that comes back into the whole discussion
Mm-hmm.
about, cryptocurrency being a speculative market.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Like that young fellow who put $180,000 as life savings. What happens if it would have went the other way?
Yeah, we may not hear about him.
Yeah.
You may not have even confessed that he lost it all. But yeah.
But that's the if we come to terms with that's the risk,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's that risk reward model.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had the money liquid. He didn't borrow it.
Yeah.
Right. But, if you borrowed that money and then you're leveraging yourself
Oh
and
yeah.
you lose it, man, that double hurts because now you've got X amount of time to pay that loss back.
Yeah. Ouch.
Right. So be careful.
Yeah.
That's, there,
Mm-hmm.
it's in this whole crypto market space is speculative. It's a double-edged sword. Yes, you can win big, you can lose big.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's, if we approach it that it's more of a marathon than a sprint. Doge is a sprint coin.
Yeah.
Right. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin,
Mm-hmm.
these other coins they're marathon coins.
Yeah.
Right. Because you think back March of 2020, Bitcoin was $5,500. Ethereum was $230. Litecoin was $40.
Oh, it's crazy.
Cardano was 3 cents. So you put those numbers in your head, right? The Binance, the BNB was less than $10. So we take all of these and we look at, spring ahead, 13 months, we've got a $55,000 Bitcoin. We've got a $3,500 Ethereum.
Yeah.
We've got a $630 BNB or 525. It just keeps bobbing up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Cardano is trading at $1.30, $1.37.
Mm-hmm.
Litecoin is over $300 right now. So if you understand that when you find solid projects
Mm-hmm.
and invest in the long term in projects that have utility, have application, that are sound, that have been around, that have a significant market cap,
Mm-hmm.
that with patience you'll achieve your goals in the long term.
Yeah.
And that it's extremely, extremely necessary to have a plan and know when you're taking profits when you're jumping on the altcoin train. Because we may be buying coins, the smoke and mirror coin project, right? And Elon gets behind the smoke and mirror coin project and does one tweet about it. And it does a 300 or a 3,000% in 1 week.
Yeah.
And then Elon loses interest in it and never tweets about it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens to that coin? Or you get these low market cap coins where there's 1 million coins in circulation, but there's 100 million coins minted. And when you do the research on that coin, those other 100 coins may not be locked up and inaccessible in a smart contract that have certain release dates, right? So what happens there is that if those coins are in essence liquid to the creators, they can create what's called a rug pull. So they can take $1 million out of their cold storage, bring it into circulation and flood the market, cash out.
Yeah.
And that's what'll drive, so let's say that a coin's gone up 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
They drop 1 million coins on and they'll drive the market down until their 1 million coins are sold out. So they're sucking the life out of the project. Right. So that in essence is one of these rug pulls that happens. So when we're looking at altcoin projects, we also want to look at the white paper. We want to take a look at tokenomics.
Mhm.
And tokenomics is basically how are the coins going to be distributed and over what period of time. The founders of the project definitely deserve to have a portion of the coins available to them. The key is, when are they available to them, right?
Mhm.
And how are they going to be disposing of them? Is there token burning? Is there
Mhm.
profit sharing? Like, what are the features that are within this project? These are all the things that we want to take into consideration. Yes, they've got a nice website. Yes, they've got a nice they've got a great white paper. They have a really good Instagram presence. They've got a good Twitter presence. They've got, maybe they're running a Discord channel. So, and they're on Facebook. So they're heavily into social media. So we look for these as proof that this token is really alive, right? You think about our friends with the Gaia coin, right? So we'll notice the Gaia coin, right? So they spent a lot of time building their infrastructure, they've built their website out, they've got their white paper, they've built their mainnet, they're building smart contracts on top of Bitcoin using stacks, and they've got a test net up and running. They've got a very active Telegram channel, they've got a very active Twitter channel, they're on Facebook. And so the Gaia Coin project, so is a project that's going to bring sustainability and awareness of sustainable energy to blockchain projects. Right? So awesome. They're a registered not-for-profit organization. So when we take a look at what they're doing, and they're doing their initial token release, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's the Gaia coin, and we'll drop a link in the below our video so that you can go and check them out. I think sustainability and understanding how are miners out there going green, right? Because a lot of the miners are doing things like they're building solar farms, to power their taking their mining off grid, right? And people are building miners are building these large mining containers, and they're shipping the containers out into the oil fields, where normally what happens is that when they're drilling for oil, on top of the oil pocket is a natural gas reserve. And normally what happens is when that opens up, they burn it off. So that natural gas, because it's the product that they're after is not the natural gas, the product that they're after is the crude oil. So that just gets blown off into the atmosphere, and they burn it off and they let it run off as this huge torch. It probably looks like a rocket launch, right? So what they've been doing is they've been taking containers they build these like shipping containers, and they put inside the shipping containers generator, air conditioning. They put in everything to power the unit. It's all pre-wired. They take it out, they drop it in to the site where they're actually doing the drilling. They cap the where they've got the natural gas, and they drop these shipping containers in, and they're burning off the natural gas that normally would just get blown into the atmosphere. So they're actually taking so they're not creating any pollution from what they're doing, because they're actually they're helping slow down and put to use the process. So these are things that some of the miners are doing out there, right? So they are looking to become responsible, and that there is, when we look at all the businesses and all the systems, right? There's millions and millions of data centers across the world that are used for businesses that are drawing, hundreds of megawatts of power. So electricity and cooling and, so all of these things, they're already happening in data centers. So when we look at mining is just a small portion of that. But because it's new, it's gotten a lot of attention. So the Gaia coin is a very unique project that's gone, so they're going to go out and talk to the crypto organizations and help them get a understanding of what their impact is on the world, what their carbon impact is, and how to become a net carbon zero cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's great advancement. And that's something, entering into this, you wouldn't necessarily think of. You just hear the bad press, let's say, that it's generating so much heat and, just uncontrollable amounts of energy. Yet there is so much good and so many great ideas and projects, this one being a big one, I think, to help alleviate that and to make it get rid of the bottlenecking, get rid of just the demand for the energy. And what better way than going more green, right?
I think that's huge. I think it's huge.
Yeah.
And I think it's I think it goes under. Let me get this here. There we go. I think it's just called GaiaCoin.org. Let me verify that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. GaiaCoin.org. That's the website. That's the project. So it's pretty exciting, that there's a lot of people that it's very heart-centric for them on what's happening to our world.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt around what cryptocurrency is doing to our environment. And, the load it's putting and the strain it's putting on our power grids and, thus creating carbon impact on the world.
Yeah. And then we have ENQ or ETHEREUM, which is mobile phone mining, which uses very little power. So there's some really cool things going on that a year ago, I'm coming up to 3 months in this space, and it's like, man, there's a whole world out there that's been going on I didn't know anything about, and it's just so exciting.
Yeah. I spent a couple hours over the last few days helping a friend of mine get into the crypto space. He had a very good ride with Tesla over the past 18 months. And he wanted to move into the crypto world and look to take a similar ride. So he asked me to kind of hold his hand and get him connected with the right people to be able to smoothly get into the crypto space.
Yeah.
Asked me for recommendation. And I said, well, you got to decide, right? I think, the place to start is Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Number one and number two market cap coins.
Yeah.
And I said, right now, you need to make a choice. I sent him some links to a couple of videos. And I said, right now it's Ethereum season. So what that means is that, not long ago, Ethereum was down around $1,500 in February.
Yeah.
That's when we had the Bitcoin market correction, and it just tanked down. And it's been pushing and pushing and pushing, and it played around the $2,000 mark. It hung around the $1,800 mark, and then it started to challenge the $2,000 mark. It broke through the $2,000 mark a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It went over $2,600, and then it's like, okay, we're due for a market correction. And, Ethereum just said, hold my beer, and kept charging away.
Yeah.
And, that's where I was saying, and it blew through $3,000. And then, it charged up to $3,600. And it's like, wow, I noticed there was a W pattern forming, and I just did a quick boom, boom. And I drew some lines on there really quick. And when I looked at it, it was about a 2.5 week intersection to the $4,000, the $4,000 mark on the chart I was looking at in TradingView, and it was kind of, I didn't think anything of it. This was a chart that I spent all of about 45 seconds putting together. It wasn't huge technical analysis. It was like, oh, look at this. We got a W forming on the daily, right? So that means in a 24-hour time period. And so I drew the line out, and that chart, goes the $1 through to the, or 1 hour through to the 24-hour is pretty accurate, right? And then looking at those moving averages. So it's interesting, the experts out there are claiming Ethereum to 5K for the end of May, beginning of June. And then they're talking about hitting 10K by the end of August.
Wow.
Right. And, so when we get to 10K, that's 3 times. That's going to put Ethereum into $1 trillion market cap. Right. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be rubbing shoulders. Now, don't think that Bitcoin's going to sit idle. I don't think so. Right. All that Bitcoin has to do is go back up to 65K. It's already been there once. So getting to 65 will be easy.
Yeah.
Right. Relative. I mean, easy, but, so the next stop for Bitcoin, they're figuring is going to be somewhere around 75 or 80K. Now they're figuring that we'll see Bitcoin hitting $100,000 this summer. Right. And so if Bitcoin essentially doubles, having Ethereum sit at $1 trillion market cap and Bitcoin sit at a $2 trillion market cap, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's interesting things, it's, maybe, who knows, maybe Doge will be a 200, maybe Doge will be a $220 billion coin.
Yeah. You never
know.
You don't. Yeah.
We don't know at all. I mean, us who, us old guys telling you to get out of Doge because it's a risk. We don't know.
Yeah.
We can look at the past and see that, a lot of people got burned with these risky investments, and we can only look there. But there's a thing that we don't understand in the what's going on in this whole social media space, in this whole celebrity space. Like Elon Musk flips his profile over to the Doge father, and boom, off it goes and running. And he drops some comment, and off it goes running. So it's that if you have your finger on the pulse of this, and you understand that's pretty much your technical analysis for the coin. It's completely different, right? What drives the candles? But when we talked a few weeks ago, Bill, we were talking about the Elliott wave. And the Elliott wave is how, a market moves through optimism to pessimism, or through pessimism to optimism. And then I call it the FOMO back to pessimism, right? So it rides that emotional sinusoidal wave.
Yeah.
And, in the 30s, that was mapped out by Mr. Elliott, that noticed it and aligned emotions to the trends of the stock market. And showed specific patterns, 3 waves of how the market moves. Going from pessimism to optimism, to
confidence,
to heavy confidence, to the fear of missing out, and then and then he mapped it on the 3-step down. Right. So it's interesting. Someone's probably going to come out with an Elon Musk theory for Doge.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there, he put out a tweet a little while ago where he said, what does a future hodl? And that got people wondering which coin is he talking about. Obviously they were thinking Dogecoin, but he puts out these cryptic little messages, and it keeps people focused on that.
Well, it's interesting. He's definitely a bright man, and he likes to play with cryptic messages. We think about they, being Tesla, sold off 10% of their Bitcoin holdings to prove to the SEC liquidity, that they can move money into crypto and just as easily move it back out.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't about market manipulation. It was about proving, because, the thing that we have to remember is that Tesla now is one of the largest, or they are the largest automaker by market cap.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to show extreme diligence to their investors. And, by putting money into Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
they want to create a protection against inflation.
Yeah.
But they also have to show that capital can be moved in and out with ease.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, you think about, we can move $100 or $500 in and out of our Shake Pay or our Binance or Crypto.com account with great ease with a bank transfer.
Yeah.
Right. What do you do when it's $100,000?
Yeah.
Right. What do you do when it's $1 million? These are what we call the otherworldly conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And, when you're into these otherworldly conversations, it's the quality of the relationships that you have with the people that can fulfill the needs that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doge, the Doge father.
The Doge father. Good stuff.
Hold on to your Ethereum and have a solid plan for Doge.
Yeah, exactly. Wise words.
Yeah. So great conversation,
Wow.
Bill.
Yeah, it was great tonight. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks everyone for joining us and hanging out with us. We appreciate you dropping by and supporting the channel. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us.
Yeah.
Tell us what you'd like to hear. What other conversations would you like? I know I've got a request today that someone wanted to ask me about the different wallets, right? And, why would I consider different wallets? So maybe in the next episode or an upcoming episode, we can talk about types of wallets, because, there's risks and rewards to moving money between wallets. We touch on that a little bit. And I think for our new Bitcoin basic users, maybe we can dive into that and have a discussion.
Yeah, it's always good to have a refresher on that, Yeah. So, and if we seem to be repetitive, it's because we're getting new viewers and we want them to kind of not miss out on some of the basics. So we always talk about security, we're going to talk about wallets and, along with all the Elliott waves and stuff like that. So a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. So there's one of our fans. Appreciate feedback. Yeah. So
thanks, Jay.
It's good. Yeah. Thank you, Jay, and everyone who drops by. Thanks for your support. We appreciate you, and you have yourself a good evening, and we'll talk to you again on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Dogecoin, and maybe if there's some really wild stuff going on, we'll have to jump on quickly.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.